3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Mystery reading number 1208. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. So, I did see the Nine of Pentacles tarot card before I started this reading. 1 second here. Interesting. I saw both 111 before I walked away, and then 123 when I was walking back on the timer. But number 1 is about having trust and faith. This could also be a message for me as a reader. And number 1, 2, 3 is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. So I definitely believe that I saw the 9 of Pentacles before I started this reading for a reason. The 9 of Pentacles, well, let's start with the number 9, which is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So you could be feeling driven by a sense of purpose, or to seek out, maybe feeling inspired to seek out a sense of purpose, especially when it comes to letting go of someone or something, or just in general, the idea of loss, letting go, finding acceptance, finding answers, closure, direction, clarity. I'm really feeling connected to somebody's sense of direction here. The Nine of Pentacles card itself, I interpret that as abundance. You know, your hard work really paying off. Maybe there's some exhaustion here, but the Nine of Pentacles is definitely a card of abundance, and it's also about comfort, being content. Is this something you are searching for, or is there something to celebrate? I just saw the number 3, 2, 1, which is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. And for some reason I felt connected to the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and the spaghetti tornado. I think that's interesting. But, yeah, that movie is about a storm, an interesting storm. But maybe there's a storm here that you're going through, that you've already been through, that you will be going through. I feel like I'm seeing, or I saw the Nine of Pentacles to get my attention about somebody's sense of abundance or desire to have more. There's something here about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works, getting better at letting go, not only for yourself and your own peace, but also for others, and just peace collectively. I'm really feeling connected to the idea of getting better at letting go. I also saw on one of these index cards a picture that I drew of a pyramid. So maybe take that as you will. Maybe there's something here about ancient Egypt, or just Egypt in general, the pyramids in particular. Maybe there's something significant about the time period that ancient Egyptians or other ancient civilizations lived. I personally have been learning so much about ancient civilizations, and it has been very fascinating and telling about why we are where we are today. I'm feeling connected to USA Today. I think that's like some sort of publication or something. I'm not sure. I'll only take that if it resonates. Let's move into interpreting the number 1208. The number 8 is going to be interesting to talk about. As I already said before, number 1 is about having trust and faith. That message is really being reinforced here. Have trust and faith in yourself, your abilities, the universe, the fact that it's listening. Maybe it's important to have more trust and faith in another person or a specific situation, and it's like a trust the process type of thing. There might be movement in a situation or relationship, like things accelerating right now or in the future. It doesn't really feel like it's likely to be in the past, but it could be. It really just depends on how this reading resonates for you. But the number 2 is about being wise with your choices, your decisions, protecting yourself if you need to when it comes to a specific relationship or situation. Trust and have faith in your ability to navigate whatever you're dealing with right now. Have trust and faith in your own decisions and your own judgment, your ability to make the right decision, whatever that means. Number 0 can be about recurring patterns or themes, and these could be showing up in spiritual communication, in the way that things align, serendipitous things, coincidences, that's what you want to call them. Or these patterns or recurring things could be showing up somewhere else. They could even be showing up within yourself, the way that you think, feel, what you believe. Just pay attention to these patterns. Maybe there's just a general message here to pay attention, to connect the dots in some way, even if it's just about finding closure, connecting the dots in terms of understanding a situation or a person as a whole. Interesting. For you to put yourself first, especially if you do feel called to protect yourself. Don't be afraid to put yourself first. This also may be an opportunity for you to heal, grow, change the way that change your mindset, and ultimately how you feel, what you believe about yourself, this life, this reality, what's possible for you, what you're capable of. You might have heard the dog barking in the background, and usually when a dog barks in the background, similarly to whenever I hear a siren, it's about getting your attention, a call for you to pay attention. So I do encourage you to pay attention to the messages in this reading. Pay attention to what resonates, but also what doesn't. It's okay if this reading is not meant for you and what I'm saying doesn't really make sense. I have a lot of different other readings, so don't even worry about that. Let's move on to the number 8, which is about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. Remember what I said before about getting better at letting go, getting better at having trust that things can and will get better, that the pain, the suffering is temporary. I just had this feeling that maybe we have to know what suffering and pain feels like, so we know what it feels like to heal, to find peace, to live in peace. Pain and suffering is trying to tell us something. That's what I believe. As somebody who believes that everything happens for a reason, 100%. It's actually a big message on my channel. You might see that if you stick around until mystery reading at number 1234. When you add up these numbers, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 8 is 11. I just saw 111. Have trust, have faith. I always get reminded of the Justice card when the number 11 comes up, because it's literally on the Justice card in the tarot. I just saw another number, but I don't remember what it was. That's okay. There's something here about finding justice within yourself, within this reality, helping to create justice in the world. But first you have to bring justice for yourself. You have to know how to bring justice to yourself through getting better at letting go and allowing yourself to heal, and allow your pain and your suffering to strengthen you rather than weaken you. You know, you can see it as fuel rather than something destructive. You can allow it to inspire you. Maybe there's something about just generally how you handle loss, as feels like I've already said before. When you add up the number 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. We already talked about the number 2, which is confirmation of a significant relationship or situation, and the need for you to make your decisions wisely, have trust and faith in them, and don't be afraid to protect yourself, to choose yourself first if you need to, especially because I just saw the number 243 on the timer, which for me can be a warning about somebody or some situation wanting to take advantage of you or exploit you in some way. Yeah, the idea of fairness really fits into the theme of justice. Overall, this number 1208 has encouraged you to have trust and faith, to be wise with your choices, and also have trust in them while you're navigating some sort of relationship or situation. It's also been very clear that this is a call for you to pay attention, and for a reason, because I just saw the number 321 on the timer. We're seeing a lot of numbers in this reading. Yeah, I just want to emphasize to put yourself first if you really need to, and trust that everything happens for a reason. You're coming across this reading for a reason, because I just saw 3, 4, 5 on the timer. I swear I'm not just sitting here staring at the timer. Just so happens when I look at it, I see these numbers. It tends to happen a lot. But I think an interesting theme or idea to come through is getting better at letting go. Maybe there's someone or something specific that you could get better at letting go, finding closure with, allowing yourself to heal and to grow and to free yourself. Really, acceptance, things like acceptance and forgiveness really do give you a lot of freedom when it comes to thinking or feeling, or even your belief system in some way. One second. Yeah. I also want to reinforce the need to be wise with your decisions right now. if you do feel called to protect yourself, know that your ancestors are always present with you, trying to support you to help you find comfort and stability in life, and also how to find joy, too. So there are clearly a few decks of cards on the table. This here is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, and this deck and these deck of index cards are just cards that I made myself, and I wrote on these cards things that I felt called to write. And if you feel called to, you can pause the video and read whatever that card that was written in purple just said, but I'm going to start with drawing out one of these tarot cards. I'm currently seeing the Six of Swords in my mind's eye, which is all about moving into calmer waters, just allowing yourself to accept some sort of change or transformation or transition, something uncomfortable maybe. Oh, this is great. This is the Star card. It says, well, actually, only in reverse, there's words written on it that I wrote. It says pessimism, hopeless, and lack of faith. But this is upright. It's about faithfulness, hopefulness, optimism. This is a major arcana, which is interesting, actually, because when I really think about it, the Six of Swords does seem like a more specific version of the Star. It's like there's also a specific situation that you need to let go of, or feelings or something. But also there's a need here to have generally have a better relationship with loss. I guess, yeah, things in life that we can't control, really. The Star card has the number 17 on it. Yeah. And 1 plus 7 is 8. We already said that the number is about loss, and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. I believe before the Star card is the Tower. And the Tower is when the tower comes crumbling down because the foundation was not stable. It was not secure. It's a collapse, an upheaval of something. And with the Star coming afterwards, this is when there's a lot of hope. Kind of like a feeling of like things can only go up. You know, like you've been through the tragedy, and now it's to allow yourself to heal and to rise up from it. Let's draw one of these cards here. Okay. This is actually such a nice card to get. It does give me this general, feeling of being much, much kinder and patient and understanding towards yourself. This card says, I am trying, and that is enough. And it has the number 666 on it, which to me can be connected to the devil, but probably not in the way that you're thinking. The devil card in tarot, it represents feeling chained or bound or feeling like a slave to your desire or someone or something else, just feeling trapped and like a slave. And that card has the number 15 on it. 1 plus 5 is 6. So while the devil card is all about self-destruction, the number on it, 1 plus 5 is 6, for me is about encouraging you to love yourself and to have a healthy, fulfilling relationship, supportive and nurturing relationship with yourself, because you really deserve the grace. You deserve grace from yourself, especially if you feel like you aren't getting it from anyone or anywhere else. And I definitely think that getting better at letting go is a big part of loving yourself, having a healthy relationship with yourself, acknowledging your own efforts and that what you're doing is enough. This actually reminds me how in my own life I'm not working as much as I want to, but that doesn't mean that I'm not doing enough. You know, it's not about being great. It's okay to put yourself first and take care of yourself if that is what you need. We start with this last card to start wrapping up this reading. It flew on the floor. Maybe there's something here about family. Let me get this card on the floor. The truth will be revealed. Interesting. Especially because I just saw 122 and 123 on the timer. (122) is about change starting with you. And 123 is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. It does feel like you have the power or the potential to at least help reveal some sort of truth through self-love and allowing yourself to heal and maintain your hope and your faith. Which, speaking of having hope and faith, this reading overall has encouraged you to have exactly that. Hope, faith, trust in yourself, the universe, maybe another person or situation. I saw the number 222 on the timer about 10 seconds ago, which, as we already mentioned, is confirmation of a significant relationship or situation. And maybe this relationship or situation is trying to take advantage of you, making you feel used in some ways, maybe worthless in others. Be very wise with your choices. I feel like there's something here about getting better at letting go, because there is something or someone that you need to let go. Maybe you need to first start with recognizing that you need to put yourself first before you do it. This is definitely a call for you to pay attention, especially to your relationship with loss and just things in life that you can't control. So 3, 4, 5 on the timer, which is another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. Maybe there are some existential questions here that you just have to accept that you don't have the answer to, without taking it out, the frustration, the confusion on yourself. You are the only person who can give yourself answers, clarity, a sense of direction. You're the only one who can truly, who really has the power to make your own decisions. You also have the power to protect yourself, to say no, to set boundaries, to be honest, to be yourself. This really does feel like a reading to encourage you to not only let go of someone or something in particular, but to just get better at letting go in general. The cards on the table are showing me a situation that is very hopeful, faithful, optimistic. Maybe this is just your perspective, or something about your perspective. trust that everything happens for a reason. 1, 2, 3 on the timer. I think what's really going to help you rebuild in some way is by building on a foundation of self-love, on self-care, building a foundation on truth, being honest with yourself and others rather than lies and telling yourself false stories, maybe making assumptions or jumping to conclusions about other people. I just realized this card does say the truth will be revealed. The truth I feel that you need to use to lay a more stable foundation, that feels really significant here. And maybe you won't even see this truth or become more aware until you actually let go. And you allow yourself to heal, to find acceptance, to love yourself.